Be it middle school, high school, college, master's program, we usually have to deal with a lot of subjects and a lot of different topics. So here's something that may help you out. Imagine you have 5 subjects to study today and tomorrow. Do you study one of them and get it over with and move to the next one? Or do you study all of them at the same time, little by little, and by the time you're done with all of them at once? So now we're talking about interleaved practice. And what is this for? Studying the same thing for hours and hours is extremely tiresome for your mind. For those of you that have watched the video Do Not Multitask on the time management course, well, remember that idea of novelty? And that's why we like multitasking. We like seeing many things, all the time. That's kind of the same thing here. If you're looking at the same thing over and over and over and over again, you're gonna get tired. That's the idea. In fact, there's research that's showing that changing the focus in the subject that you're studying during your session may actually increase the effectiveness of your study sessions. Now, don't spend 20 minutes on one subject and go to the next one. What you want to do is use 1 to 2 hours on one subject and then move on to the next one. My suggestion is that you use the Pomodoro technique in that you use 2 to 4 little sessions before you move on to the next subject. And then for those of you that haven't seen it yet, go to the Pomodoro video and check it out. If you want to do it now, you can do it later as well, but remember that. Also, when you're focusing on a subject, fully focus on it. Don't worry about what came before and what's coming after. For those 2 to 4 sessions, you want to be fully immersed in the subject at matter. Associative memory and differentiation of concepts. Although it may not seem like that when you're in school, because, we're dividing everything into subjects, in life, nothing is divided like that. Things are combined. The subjects are combined. Things happen at once. So doing this interleaved practice may actually help your associative memory, because you may remember that H2O is, the chemical formula for water, but then there's also a river in geography by where you live. God knows. You're making connections, and once you start creating this web on the same topic, but you're like, oh, here's geography, here's chemistry, here is physics, here's mathematics, that's gonna help your learning overall. And this web is how you should also approach work, and that's how you can be even more effective sometimes, because some problems are not gonna be solved with the zoomed in version. You're gonna need to zoom out, and you're gonna need this web of knowledge to be able to solve the problem. So sometimes being effective is not necessarily only about, managing your time and, thinking about that. It's how you prep the knowledge in your head and how you're seeing things, how you're approaching a problem. Sometimes you're not going to be able to solve it by hammering that one thing. Maybe you just need to take a step back. To close up, every time that you can, use interleaved practice, both with studying and work and whatever else you're doing, because that may open new channels, new ideas that you weren't expecting. It may help you make the whole process less tiresome.